Many critics and legal experts argue that during his second presidency, Donald Trump has exhibited behavior suggesting he believes he is above the law. This perception stems from his frequent attacks on judicial rulings, refusal to comply with court orders, and rhetoric undermining legal institutions. His administration's defiance of judicial authority raised serious concerns about the rule of law, leading many to ask, when will the courts intervene? Finally, the U.S. Supreme Court weighed in, capping a series of other federal court rulings aimed at containing Trump's disregard for the judiciary. Federal courts have acted in 5 key instances to curtail his overreach, but number 1 stands out as a decisive reaffirmation that neither Trump nor his supporters are above the law. Let's look at these instances before we get into what the judicial activism means for President Trump. Instance number 5. One of the first actions of Trump's controversial Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by his business ally and major donor Elon Musk, was an attempt to dismantle the U.S. Agency for International Development or USAID. Federal Judge Theodore Chuang ruled that Musk's appointment likely violated the Constitution's Appointments Clause, as he was effectively acting as an officer of the United States without Senate confirmation. Chuang's ruling halted efforts to terminate USAID officials and contractors, ordering their reinstatement and restoring the agency's operational capabilities. The court's decision prevented the immediate loss of crucial aid supporting healthcare, education, and poverty alleviation worldwide, marking a major setback for the administration's unilateral moves. Instance number 4. On January 27, 2025, Trump signed an executive order barring transgender people from enlisting and serving openly in the military, reinstating a policy from his first term. U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes ruled that the order likely violated constitutional rights and issued a preliminary injunction against its enforcement. The decision underscored the judiciary's role in safeguarding individual rights against discriminatory policies, reaffirming legal protections for transgender service members. Instance number 3. In his March 16 budget proposal, Trump slashed $20 billion in global climate change grants, funds supporting clean energy initiatives and environmental protection. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, under Administrator Lee Zeldin, froze the grants, citing alleged fraud and mismanagement. However, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan blocked the move, ruling that the EPA failed to provide sufficient evidence to justify the terminations. Chutkan also prohibited Citibank, which held the funds on behalf of the EPA, from transferring them elsewhere, ensuring the continuation of global climate programs. Instance number 2. Fulfilling a campaign promise to curb illegal immigration, Trump issued Executive Order 14,160, attempting to restrict birthright citizenship. Attorneys general from 22 states swiftly challenged the order, arguing that the 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship to all U.S.-born children regardless of their parents' status. Federal courts, including the District Court of Maryland, issued nationwide injunctions blocking the order's enforcement, citing conflicts with Supreme Court precedent. 3 appellate courts upheld the rulings, reinforcing that presidential authority does not extend to overriding constitutional guarantees. Instance number 1. Perhaps the most significant blow from the courts came after Trump defied a district court order halting the deportation of 5 Venezuelan nationals. Citing the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, historically used only during the Civil War and World War II, Trump sought to bypass immigration laws. Trump's response was to call for the impeachment of the judge who issued the ruling, a move that struck at the foundations of judicial independence. Public outrage over his defiance prompted an unprecedented rebuke from Chief Justice John Roberts, who stated, "For more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose." This measured but firm statement underscored that Trump could not wield presidential power unchecked. It reinforced that judicial rulings must be respected and that a president's electoral mandate does not override constitutional law. All these judicial measures highlight the judiciary's essential role in upholding constitutional principles and checking executive overreach. Trump's continued defiance of legal norms, disregarding court orders and seeking to punish judges, has posed an unprecedented challenge to American democracy. With ongoing legal battles, including cases related to the Capitol Hill insurrection, the courts have emerged as the primary safeguard against an administration that has pushed legal and ethical boundaries further than any in recent history. The judiciary, often the last line of defense against authoritarian tendencies, has sent a clear message: Trump and his administration cannot govern as if above the law. As legal challenges continue, these court decisions serve as a crucial reminder that the rule of law, not political allegiance, defines the American legal system. The Supreme Court's rebuke of Trump's judicial defiance is perhaps the strongest sign yet that the nation's legal institutions remain resilient, even in the face of unprecedented challenges. The court's ability to withstand pressure will be crucial in the coming months, especially as Trump faces legal challenges related to the Capitol Hill insurrection and other controversies. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is on the back foot after the courts repeatedly overturning disputable orders passed by President Trump and his administration. In cases where the administration delayed or resisted court orders, judges escalated their responses. Courts have also threatened contempt proceedings against administration officials, leveraging their authority to compel compliance. Courts have relied on nationwide injunctions, temporary restraining orders, and threats of contempt to curb Trump's actions. These measures directly counter executive overreach by pausing policies and mandating adherence to constitutional and statutory limits. Further, the rulings have emphasized core principles, such as the 14th Amendment concerning birthright citizenship, Article 1 concerning congressional spending power, and statutory frameworks like the Administrative Procedure Act and civil service laws. While no contempt orders have been executed against senior officials by March 20, 2025, these warnings have pressured the administration to adjust its stance, such as releasing some disputed funds. What are your thoughts on these developments? If you haven't already, do subscribe to this channel for more in-depth analysis and special reports. Thank you for stopping by.